He's drunk, the asshole.
Like you aren't high half the time? Shut up, bitch!
I may have had a couple of drinks. I was nervous.
First, let's start with what prompt relay is about. This comes from Kijai. He's fixed NAG so that now it works with prompt relay. Prompt relay is made up of this. You get a global prompt, which you put the general non-action reality of the shot you're trying to make. That's the global prompt, and then what you put in prompt relay, segments separated by these, I don't know what you call them. I created a problem for myself in that I had 4 people, so there was going to be at least 4 actions. And that's probably about the limit that this is going to handle. That this woman on the left has no action, and this woman, the black woman, has 2 things to do, and they're not consecutive. So this immediately presented a problem because inaction also has to be defined. Otherwise you get the problem that I was having most of the way through.
He's drunk, the asshole. Like you aren't high half the time?
Either you get that, which is the wrong person speaking, or you get...
He's drunk, the asshole. Like you aren't high half the time?
See that? They were both talking. So I was getting lots of problems with these 2. I could not for the life of me just get the woman in the blue dress talking. And everything I did didn't work. And these will be in the workflow. So each segment needs certain things. And here we see the structure is called micro screen scripting. And each clause has 1 character, 1 emotional adverb, 1 line of dialogue, 1 physical cue, and 1 camera implication. And you can see from here, so the first segment is the black woman in the leopard print dress says seriously, okay, let's count, I'm first, and looks at the man in jeans. You can see from my prompt when you look at that, the woman on the right says sarcastically, so there you have the adverb. So you define her, it's predefined in here, a black woman in a leopard print dress, and then it's defined again here with a slightly shorter targeting. But I think it's just getting overwhelmed by the sheer amount because I had to add the extra 1 in, as you notice here. What I had to add in was this: the brunette woman in black pants and leather shakes her head quietly. So I had to add in her inaction in order to try to target the blonde woman without her cloning her actions. So if I leave that out, if I take the brunette activities out, not only the blonde woman will act, but the nearest person who isn't defined in an action does stuff too. So I went through, as you've seen, like 30 or 40 goes trying to get this right and trying all sorts of things. One thing to mention is epsilon, and epsilon is the overlap for kind of tightening the script up a bit, the acting as it were. If you don't put timings in here, and I haven't bothered because it's trouble enough as it is to get it all working, and you'll find not all of it works, but it's definitely better in most cases than just a prompt. So issues to be aware of: over complexity will start to fail. I couldn't get 4 people working well because I had 5 actions. If it would just been 4 people doing 4 things, that would have worked better, and I could have adapted it to that, but I wanted to fight through and see if I could get a solution, and it turns out I couldn't. I did final version, but I got lucky with that. Seeds make a difference, and that's a problem because you've got exponential problems if you're trying to upscale, because you'll then lose what you've successfully created. And the seed and the prompt won't save it, so you'll have to start like seed hunting. This is what I ran into, because what happened in the end actually was part way through I was getting really peed off with the whole thing. So then I disabled all the Loras that were supposed to be helping me, like the NFT and the VBVR and the dual character one, and when I disabled them all it worked. So there's something to consider, and I've added that into the issues. And my theory is that all these Loras get changed on 2 or 3 people maximum, and so if you're introducing more people, it doesn't know how to deal with it. And then the other thing was give every person just 1 action only, and try to avoid people having no actions or multiple actions at different times. But anyway, that's prompt relay. The next scene is going to be even more difficult because I'm inside a lift with all 4 of them, but I'll work that out. It's going to be a few days yet before I do the full breakdown, and I will come back and do a video of the full breakdown of all of these and all the dialogue scenes and this one as well. But this round I just wanted to share prompt relay stuff, and the full details of what I experienced and some information is in the workflow that I'll share in the text. So that's that.